You bet.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Watson-Coleman, and you stayed within the time limit. Hard to do sometimes. Congressman Ryan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Welcome, Madam Secretary. Great to see you. I hope that I love watching you and our chairwoman interact. I think of Michigan and Toledo and Ohio, and who says Ohio and Michigan can't get along and get something good done together? So we're excited to have you. I've got a couple of very parochial Ohio-centric questions that I just want to run by you. On the 20th of this January, the Department of Energy announced that it was partnering with Youngstown State University and DOE's Oak Ridge National Lab, which you heard a lot about from the gentleman from Tennessee, to develop an advanced workforce development for the battery manufacturing industry. And there's $1 million involved to assist in the development of an energy storage workforce innovation center, which will serve as a training center based in the Midwest. And the training center would support the battery and EV manufacturing industry in Northeast Ohio, which has now become known as the Voltage Valley due to the number of investments made by the electric vehicle industry and helping supply a capable workforce. So the development of the National Energy Storage Workforce Training and Innovation Center will be key to building a sustainable workforce for all sectors within the energy storage industry. And this center concept is already in development through a partnership with General Motors and Ultium Cells in partnership with Youngstown State. I know this investment is going to be put to good use, but I'm hopeful that it's not just a one-time investment, because we have a lot of work to do here to bring not only the Energy Department's resources, but also its expertise to these areas as we're talking about developing these other pockets. And so many times, as our chairwoman advocates for, some of these regions get overlooked both by DC and venture capitalists that drive the kind of innovation that we need. So what plans does the department have to assist places like Northeast Ohio that are outside the typical high-tech, high-venture capital regions?
Yeah, Congressman, I know you and I have spoken about this, and we share this this deep love for the industrial Midwest. And congratulations, you guys got that battery plant, which is fantastic. And as we often say, with respect to workforce development, you can't develop a workforce when the jobs aren't there. But when the job is there, then you can really tailor training around those job creation opportunities. So if we're going to create an industrial cluster that's called Voltage Valley, that means that workforce has to be a key component of it, and it has to be ongoing. So this is a conversation I know that I have had, not specifically with respect to Ohio, but in general with respect to creating industrial clusters with Secretary Walsh at the Department of Labor. This has to be a commitment on the part of industry and government to have an ongoing support. And obviously, as you know, often it's in partnership with a local provider like a community college as well that gets inculcated into a curriculum that's nimble because the technology is changing all the time as well. So we are fully supportive of this wraparound strategy of creating place-based industrial clusters. You've got the start of that with this, you've got more than a start, but at least with this job creation, job provider announcement. And now working with GM, working with the cell manufacturer, having a strategy that trains people specifically how they would like to be trained on site is key. And I will just quickly say, because I don't want to absorb too much of your time, but the apprenticeship model that has been identified in the American Jobs Plan, for example, would be a perfect fit for this, because having apprenticeships, obviously that hands-on experience is really critical to getting a good job down the pike.
Great. Well, we'll follow up with that. Another area that I represent is the Appalachian region, which is part of my district that has produced a good deal of energy over the years, made steel, grown the food, has done, a lot of things right over the years. And with the modern global economy, many of these communities have been left behind, as we've talked about. So I know you're committed to this, but I want to address a quick issue in Ohio, in a community in Ohio that I've been working on for over a decade now in Pike County. And it's a small rural Appalachian community in southern Ohio. And it was selected by the U.S. government to construct a gaseous diffusion plant in the 1950s. It was producing enriched uranium for our nuclear arsenal. And for decades, people worked there, Cold War, and then it was used for commercial reactors. The operation ceased in 2001. And I just want to get this on your radar screen, Madam Chair, if I can get an additional few seconds here. The operation stopped in 2001, and since then, previous administrations decided to construct a landfill on the current site and bury much of the contaminated waste in this community's backyard. It was about 1,000 feet from the nearest resident, and obviously the local community protested this, and they wanted the waste to be removed and disposed of in a separate location. So in recent years, following the record of decision where determination was made to dispose most of the waste on site, the community discovered the presence of radioactive isotopes outside the plant's footprint. The local middle school was quarantined 2 years ago when a DOE monitor across the street registered positive hits for neptunium. So I've been told by the community members that subsequent testing revealed the presence of enriched uranium inside the school. And in a tragic turn of events, several children that attended the middle school have been diagnosed with and succumbed to cancer. And Pike County now has the highest rate of cancer incidence in the entire state of Ohio, which is saying something. So bottom line is the DOE has funded radiological testing throughout the community so that you could ascertain the extent of the off-site contamination. And those results are expected later this year. Despite these concerns, Wall Street Journal said that last week that the open-air demolition of this enormous structure at the plant is imminent within the week, and the community, as you can imagine, is up in arms about the whole thing. So I just want to see if you would commit to a meeting with those people at the local level so we can get some idea at the top levels of the Department of Energy about the challenges and potential for this site. 3,700 acres, and it has enormous potential, but we want to make sure that the people around there are safe. So I would love to get you on a call with those folks.
Yeah, okay. I know you're over time, but I just want to say I know Ike White, who's head of our emergency management department, has met with local community. I'm happy to follow up with you. Obviously, safety is the highest priority. So thank you for raising it, and we can follow up.
Great. I appreciate it, Madam Secretary. And Madam Chair, I'm going to submit another question for the record as well.
So all right. Thank you, Congressman Ryan. I gave you